Welcome to the AYVC podcast, the Africa's Young Voices of Change, with me, Amule John Moses, as the host. Tonight, we shall be looking into an incredible story of a young gospel minister who has been through a lot in her life. She conceived at the age of 12. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me take this humble time to welcome her. Comfort, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. By name, I'm called Adele Comfort. I'm Lubara by tribe, just from downtown here, Oluko, sub-county.
Wow, that's nice. So we're just going to have a very interesting session with her, and we're going to ask a few questions. Like, Comfort, what was life before you getting conceived?
Life was so perfect. I loved worshiping God until when that trauma began in my life.
So do you mean you are a gospel minister before the age of 12?
Yeah, I used to sing. I used to love singing so much. It was really in church, not anywhere else.
So you want to say you got pregnant in church?
Not really.
Eh.
Yeah, the way I got pregnant, there was a time my sisters had a crew of dance. It's like a dancing crew.
Okay.
Yeah, in our village there, Oluko, they formed a crew. Since I was a dancer, I could dance a lot. They took me in their team. So we started going for rehearsals. When musician, local artists come, we go, we curtain race, and they, they what? The musicians come. So we continued, kept on doing that until when a guy that we used to do a music with uh, started playing games with me and we didn't date. Uh, Unfortunately, I conceived for him because he had to give me an alcohol to take, which I'd never taken before. So that is what happened exactly. And this happened because my sisters, after we dancing, my sisters would leave me behind. Instead of first taking me home, they would leave me behind, and that's how the guy got the advantage.
Okay. So what age were you by then?
I was at 12 age.
12 years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So, do you believe you getting conceived was due to your sister's failures or due to their lack of responsibility towards you?
Yeah, to some extent, I believed that. I believed if they took me home first before they go to do their other things, I'll be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, by then, when your family realized that you got conceived at the age of 12, what did they do to you?
I went through hell. I could say that. First of all, I was rejected by my father. After beating me thoroughly, he rejected me as his daughter. He said I'm no longer his child. Then he had to send me out of home. I had to go and live with some auntie somewhere. And I thank God for my mother. She will bring for me food up to where I am. That's when I still had hope. Yeah.
So, by then, when you got pregnant at the age of 12, what did you think about yourself?
I felt that my destiny was really shattered. I felt I lost dignity, I lost respect, I lost everything. When I had, when I had, I had conceived, I really felt that my future was dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, by the way, like when you see that man, did he take responsibility of his actions or he not even come home, he never bothered of anything?
Okay, he didn't come home, but what my father did was to take me to gather his brothers around. They took me to their home, the guy's home, and we didn't. He told everyone, he instructed everyone not to sit down. When we reached home, we got a guide. We just passed from their home to the sub county, to our sub county to take the issue ahead because
Okay.
my father said he cannot handle this issue.
Yeah.
Because by then I was in senior one.
Sure.
I joined senior one in Ediofe Girls. I wasted the school fees of first time like that. That thing hurt everyone at home. So my father said he cannot just handle that thing there. Of course, the boy stopped in P2. But me, I was the senior one. That thing hurt him a lot.
So, like, because of that thing that happened to you, do you still believe in men?
To some extent, I stopped believing in men.
Why did you stop believing in men?
I stopped believing in men because that guy, after impregnating me, they jailed him and said it was a defilement case. It was 7 years. They jailed him, but still, my father went to withdraw the case. They brought him back to the village, and after me delivering, he didn't even mind of taking care of me. Up to now, that child's responsibility has been in the hands of my family and in my hands. And right now, it is totally in my hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really a very painful situation. Like now, out of all things in the world, do you think why would your father be like? Why did he withdraw the case? What was his intention behind withdrawing the case? Because you are the daughter and you are the one who was being affected, and he decided to go and withdraw a defilement case.
One of the things I know about my father is a merciful person. He can be annoyed, but he can forgive you easily. I think that is one of the things that pushed him to withdraw the case because that family is really humble, from a humble background. I think that is one of the things that caused him to withdraw the case.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So are you in good terms with your father right now?
Right now, I'm in good terms with him because I chose to come back to him and knelt before him and ask him for forgiveness that really I am sorry, I would love to go back to school. That is when I became in right terms with him.
So did you blame yourself for getting pregnant at the age of 12?
Very much.
Okay.
I blamed myself very much.
Wow, interesting. So what was that sugar that guy told you that made you to just go and messed up with him at that point?
Like I told you, I didn't know anything. I didn't have any clue about dating.
Okay.
And I didn't know the guy's intention. What I knew is the guy gave me alcohol. The route we used was a different route. And he just
So you mean it was by the roadside?
No. He just messed up. Of course, he took me in his home. He just messed up with me from there.
Okay.
You know, as women, we are weaker vessels.
Yeah.
As the Bible says, we are weaker vessels. So he got advantage of me from there. Yeah.
Wow. So when you said you are very young, but then you did not know anything about dating and so on. But the fact that by then things were a bit modernized, like think the world was going into the aspect of technology. Did your parents or did you ever think of committing abortion or even suicide?
I didn't have that in my thoughts, but what I kept on receiving from my friends is they were telling me that you were in a good school, why don't you abort this child? They gave me some herbal medicines. I was taking, of course, ignorantly. I was taking, but unfortunately, since everything happens for the good of they that love the Lord, that thing did the abortion didn't take place.
Okay.
I went on and gave birth to my baby.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you have a baby boy or a baby girl?
It's a baby boy.
Wow.
And concerning suicide, I tried.
Oh,
I
sure.
swallowed a lot of drugs, and let me tell you, it did touch me a bit like this. I was sober.
So did you get back to school after all that had happened? Like at now the age of 13, I'm sure you produce now when you're at the age of 13. So did you get back to school?
I went back to school when the child was now 1 year and 8 months. That was when I reported to a school. But trust me, the school they gave me, they gave me a school where the school fees was 72. That it is to test me if I will not waste their school fees again. Then I was passionate. I had to vow to God that I will study until I get the papers I want. I don't want to disappoint my parents again. That was the vow I made.
So now what do you do for a living?
I'm a midwife by profession.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, I'm a midwife by profession, and I do also business.
So you're a midwife and at the same time
A business lady.
businesswoman.
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. And so I'm very sure you have a lot of things in mind when you got pregnant and when you went even back to school. So, who was in charge of paying your school fees? Like, was your father? Did he pay your school fees because by then he was annoyed, or who paid your fees?
Um, Before I conceived it was my sister. Then after me going back to school, it was also my mother's second born who picked me up and
So
paid
that's
me.
your aunt.
Yeah, my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother's second born. She paid me my O level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. So, amidst all these challenges, you are a very young girl at the age of 12. Imagine you getting conceived and so on. Like, if it was me, I did not, by the age of 12, my mind was not even opened at all. What gave you the strength to be strong, like as a lady at the age of 12? What made you strong in those moments?
Like I told you, I was a church girl, and what made me strong was one of the things that made me strong was the hope in God. The hope in God. I really loved God, and I kept trusting in Him that one day He will make me a better person. Though the world around me kept on calling me names, giving me negative attitudes, and doing all sorts of things, never wanting me to stay with
Yeah.
their daughters who are even way much older than me. They could say that I'm a prostitute, but I kept one thing in my head that God will see me through out of this. That was
Sure.
one thing that made me strong.
Okay, so they are calling you a prostitute. How did you feel? Like you going to play with the children around in the compound, they call you a prostitute, look at this one, you already have a child. How did you feel?
I felt that everything about me was shattered. My dignity, my everything. I had lost everything. That was the feeling I had. I felt that nothing good will ever come out of me.
Wow,
Yeah,
so bad, right?
yeah,
So you felt like nothing good could come out of you.
yes.
So if you are taken back in time to your 12-year-old self, what will you advise yourself to do?
Yeah. I would be patient with my life, keep my dignity, keep my body holy and acceptable to God, and I will wait the appointed time of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Africa's Young Voices of Change, the AYVC podcast, brings you a story of a very young lady who got conceived at the age of 12. Her story has been one that is so incredible. At the age of 12, she conceived and got a child. She produced successfully at the new bouncing baby boy at the age of 13. And so, throughout that life, we are trying to ask, how did she go through it? How can that story inspire you? How can that story get something into you? And so we are very much honored to have our guest here, Comfort, on board. So we are going to ask her a very simple question that now she has gone through these challenges, and there are people who are also going through these same challenges. Like, for example, the youth. Basically, we are talking about the youth. So, what advice do you have to such kind of ladies, or what advice do you have to such kind of men who in turn go and destroy the lives of young ladies?
Okay, let me start with ladies. The advice I want to give you to ladies who are out there, who are yet the same age, who have not conceived, my advice to you is like this. You need to learn to give yourself to God and keep your body holy and acceptable unto God until the appointed time. The Bible says in Isaiah that every woman will never miss a mate. So don't rush into things. Just allow God to work in your life. He will give you the right man. To those who have conceived already, like me, I just want to encourage you that everything happens for a reason. You still have a hope. The Bible says in Job, there is a hope for a tree that is cut down. It will still again spring out and bear much fruit again. I want you to put your trust in God that you will become a better person. God will bring you a better version of yourself. If I lost trust in God, trust me, I will not become a midwife that I am today. So that is my advice to gentlemen who are playing around with ladies around.
Wow.
I'm telling you, judgment is waiting for you.
Hey, that's for you and me.
Yes, judgment is waiting for you. Be trustworthy and love somebody's daughter. Take her home and build home with her. That is what the Bible requires for you. Thank you.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is basically a saying of patience. Patience waits, right?
Yeah.
But pains. So, this is it all. Many people tend to rush for things in life, but at the end of it all, they go into the world of regrets. So, this has been your story, and I really love the way you have been doing things around. I'm very sure there are very many people who will get to you and hear your personal story and learn from the same story that you have given us today. So, to everyone who is outside there, to the young ladies, to the young men, please, as she has said, I don't want to add much onto what she has said, but make sure whatever thing you do in life, there are always consequences for it. So be mindful of what is going to come ahead of you. So comfort. Now, thank you so much for coming to the AYBC podcast. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is, I think I should give you the last moment. So what is the last thing that you want to tell our viewers today?
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity again. The last thing I want to tell, like let me say the youth generally.
Yeah.
Youth, please don't allow the world to wreck your life.
Okay.
I want you to draw near to God because we don't know what is coming next. With the things, with the media, with everything that is trying to spoil, that is with the noisy world, I will just suggest that draw near to God. If you're in school, focus in school. If you're in ministry, focus in ministry. Focus. If you're in business, focus in business. All these things will count because we were created for a purpose. Those who are looking out there that why am I in the world, please seek God for your purpose and discover you will stay calm in this noisy world. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Comfort. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the AYVC podcast with me, Amule John Moses, as the host. And so, do you want your story to be heard? And if yes, please, we're going to share our contacts on the screens. And so, if you want your stories to be heard, if you want to share your story with everyone in the world, please make sure you get into contact with us. And please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our contents. We have platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at AYVC Podcast, the Africa's Young Voices of Change. Thank you for listening.